Hi, everybody. I'm Mary Ellen from LearnBridge Online, and today I'm going to bring in a friend, Curt Soloff, to talk about an interesting hand he has. Hey, Curt,
Hey, Mary Ellen.
what are we going to do today?
We're going to talk a little bit about balancing, which is something that we can and should do when we are playing bridge in the match point format. This is something that we're often told, or players will hear that they shouldn't go quietly when the opponents find a fit at a low level, and even if you didn't bid previously. That maybe you want to come in and compete. And this is one of those hands that actually came up for me in some face-to-face play recently.
Oh, great. Okay, so I'll just bring this up and can take a peek at this hand.
Yeah.
So, am I playing this hand here? Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to put you in my seat and give you the cards that I held. Now, I will impose upon you with your first chance here a pass, because everybody's vulnerable and your hand is not good enough for a vulnerable overcall, certainly not at the 2 level. So
Okay.
we're going to have you pass for now. But
Okay.
that does not mean that you will be forever excluded from this auction.
Okay, because I have what, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 points. So technically, I guess I could bid those clubs, but at the
Yeah,
two
I mean,
level,
it may be tempting. And look, if you could make an overcall at the 1 level, it would be a different story.
better,
But
right?
we have a little higher expectations of a vulnerable 2 level overcall. And while
Oh,
you might get away with bidding your clubs, there's a bit of risk
right.
uh, in doing
Okay.
so now.
All right. Pass it is.
Now, your thoughts about competing may, and I would say should, change a little bit, because now the opponents are about to stop at 2 hearts, and you will be making the decision whether to sell out to 2 hearts or to bid something here. And I would pose that you don't want to sell out, and that
No.
there's actually more safety in getting involved in this hand now. Why is that? Well, the opponents aren't going anywhere. They found a fit. And certainly when South opened the bidding, that might have been a very good hand, right?
Right.
But North immediately limited the values with just a simple 2 heart raise. So that's like 6 to 9 points in heart support, right? And South isn't even making a game try.
Right.
So it looks like South has a minimum opening. So your partner is marked with some cards here, right? Your partner has some values over there.
Exactly. So I guess the question is, do I go for the clubs or is there a better bid?
Well, you could bid your clubs. Certainly, it's your longest best suit, and that might work out really well. The question I would ask you is, what if you found yourself in 3 clubs and partner gave you a dummy that only had, say, a small singleton club, but had 4 spades? Now
Right.
you're playing. Now you'd be playing in an inferior club fit, and you would have missed an 8-card spade fit. And on top of that, you'd be at the 3 level, where spades you might get to play at the 2 level, right?
Right.
So
So
the
it's
question
worth
is,
it to
how
try.
would you get to your spade fit?
Yeah. Is it worth it to try then to bid my 4 spades?
Well, I mean, to just bid a mediocre 4-card spade suit, that's kind of risky too.
Yep.
Now, a lot of times we balance with a double. Do you see a problem with that?
Well, immediately I thought double, but then I saw that singleton diamond and I thought that's really not being an accurate double then, is it?
No, and you could really find yourself in some hot water if you double, because if partner bids diamonds, that's going to be a 3 diamond bid. And now how do you get out of that mess? I mean, what are you then going to bid 4 clubs? We got a runaway train at that stage, right?
Yes.
And the opponents might start doing some doubling at that stage. So you have a real problem here, right?
I do.
And the idea is you'd like to balance. We see this symmetry on hands where if the opponents have a fit, we have a fit, but we have to get there, right? We have to get
Right.
to our best fit. So how are we supposed to do that? Well,
I don't know.
there's a little trick that you can pull here. I will tell you, in real life, I did not make the bid that I wanted to make because I was afraid it would throw partner a curve. I'll go ahead and tell you, I bid 3 clubs on this hand.
You
And
did.
it worked out pretty well. But as we're going to see shortly, I did feel a bit of disappointment in playing 3 clubs because we had a better place to be.
Oh, because at the end you saw, yeah. So do you want to go through playing the clubs or do you want me to?
All right. So what I'm going to suggest is that you do bid 2 spades.
Okay.
Now, what does this 2 spade bid mean? Is partner going to play you for a 5-card spade suit?
Yeah.
Because you should for an overcall normally, right?
Right.
But here's something to think about. If you had a hand that was good enough for a 1-level overcall in spades, in other words, say as few as 8 or 9 points and a decent 5-card spade suit, wouldn't you have overcalled 1 spade the first time?
True.
What hand isn't overcalling 1 spade the first time, but can now balance at the 2 level?
Okay.
Well, so here's the trick, and here's what I think this bid should be, but it's something you would want to discuss with your partner. How about exactly 4 spades and a longer minor, which could be clubs or diamonds?
Well, that's exactly what I have. So that would be perfect.
All right. So what you can do is you can bid 2 spades here. And as long as you and your partner are on the same page about this, if your partner has, say, 3 or 4 or more spades, then you just stay at 2 spades. And if your partner can't stand spades, has only a doubleton or a singleton or something like that, they can ask you for your minor.
Okay. That makes sense.
So let's give that a shot. And I think the way to go here, by the way, if you are the partner of somebody balancing in this situation, you can use 2 no trump to ask for the minor. 2 no trump shouldn't be natural, right? We would never really want to play in no trump when we only have about half the deck and one of our opponents is known to have a 5-card major suit, right?
Right.
So in this case, I would probably pass. I might be tempted, to tell you the truth, as we're about to see the dummy, I might be tempted to raise with this hand, but I don't want to punish you for balancing. But as we see here, this is a fantastic hand for spades.
Right. Right. It is. It couldn't be better. Really. And it's not bad for clubs either, but
Yeah, and in fact, let's show everybody the whole hand here.
Okay.
And so we can see that now 3 clubs played well. I took the same 10 tricks. When I played 3 clubs, I made 4. And this is, it's one of those magical, well, it's a double fit hand for both hands, right? We've got the double fit our way in the black suits. The opponents have a double fit in the red suits. They can make 3 hearts, by the way, or I guess 3 diamonds for that matter. But assuming they would want to play in the major as well, and they found their major fit, we see that they can make 3 hearts, and we can actually make 4 spades or 4 clubs. Now, should we get to this game? I don't know. That's pretty tough. Even if East decides to raise and says, "Ooh, I've got a really good hand for spades," I'm not sure that West is going to go on the game with a 9-point hand. But we will have at least gotten to our major fit which is going to score better for us than clubs, right?
Right. Right. So you might as well go for that. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I got a pretty good match point score for playing in clubs because a lot of people did sell out to a heart part score and let the opponents have the hand. I got a little bit lucky with 3 clubs. I caught partner with a very good doubleton with that king jack. So it worked out all right. But the moment I saw the dummy, my thought was, wow, how do we get to a spade contract instead?
Right. Right.
And so this is the trick. This is a little thing that you can do. But again, you've got to be careful with it, right? Because what is partner going to think when you balance 2 spades? They're immediately going to think, oh, you bid a suit at the 2 level. This is the first time we've heard from you. That must be a 5-card suit, right?
Right. Right. Interesting. Yeah. All these little things that you need to think about and agree with your partner makes a big difference. Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of little nuances here. And look, I always tell people if there's a chance your partner might misinterpret a bid that you made and it wasn't discussed, go with the safer bid. That's why I bid 3 clubs when I actually played this hand, right? I didn't want to throw this at my partner and watch my partner pass my 2 spade bid with a small doubleton and get myself into a 4-2 trump fit for the hands that clubs plays better, right?
Right.
So you got to be careful. I think for the sake of partnership harmony, it's always good, to minimize or just avoid completely throwing any speculative bids at partner and saying, oh, I hope my partner works this out.
Right.
But with discussion, I think this is an excellent treatment with this type of hand that's going to help get you to the best spot when you decide to balance.
So just for the beginners and the intermediates, so the balancing position is the fact that you've passed, your opponents have both bid, and you're in that last seat after a pass from your partner. So that makes you balancing.
Yes, we often interchange the terms balancing seat and pass out seat because you are the one who determines whether this auction comes to an end or whether we continue to compete.
Right.
And especially when you're playing match points, you should look for just about any excuse to compete, and you should not be inclined to let the opponents play in a comfortable 2-level contract when they have a fit.
Right.
And that's the key. When they have a fit, they established a heart fit early here. If they don't have a fit, we don't know that they're in a great spot, and you don't necessarily want to balance.
Right. Good to remember. I never really knew, that there were special rules for that situation. So it's good to know.
Yep. Well, if you put some of that to use, I think you will find yourself picking up a few match points. Every now and then you might get in trouble and go for a number, but it's just one board, right?
Right. Exactly. Well, thank you. Thank you so much, Curt, for this great hand. I think that'll help all of us beginners and intermediates use that skill now, balancing.
Yep. Do that balancing at match points. Do that balancing act.
Exactly. Thanks so much, Curt. Thanks everybody for watching. Bye-bye.
Thanks all.